and bravery honored far from home.
It means the world to us.
Why a Belgian family has adopted Canadian wartime heroes.
I'm Tara Nelson in the tiny town of Jalais, Belgium. Well, you might drive by it if you didn't know what it was, but we'll tell you how this private memorial at the side of the road is connected to Canada. That's just ahead.
"65 years ago, a Halifax bomber spewing smoke and flames streaked across the Belgium sky. These were the last moments for the half-dozen Canadian crew returning from a bombing run on Germany. Their aircraft spun in near Jalais. And that could have been the end of the story. There's just one among millions of tragedies suffered during World War II. But as Europe Bureau Chief Tara Nelson shows us, their memory has been enshrined thanks to a local family that holds Canada very close to its heart.
When they came back from the last raid, I counted 17 plank holes.
I hope you're doing well, dear. I think of you continually.
For decades, it was all relatives had to go on. Old letters and cryptic notes. The final correspondence from young men who didn't return from World War II.
It is the only known photograph of the 7 airmen together.
6 Canadians and 1 Brit, a successful team until November 2nd, 1944. Returning from a raid on Dusseldorf, their Halifax bomber was shot down over Belgium.
The plane was already on fire as it fell from the sky and crashed into this remote farmer's field. In fact, 65 years later, there's still a depression in the ground.
Albert Adens was one of the first on the scene. He could do nothing that night, but promised to build a memorial to the young men to honor their bravery. And 6 decades later, his family still maintains it. A 6-foot monument and a piece of the airplane's wing placed inside a garden. Adens' daughter and son-in-law now visiting once a week to keep it tidy, and once a year still organizing a ceremony in their memory.
We don't forget this supreme sacrifice these 7 airmen give for our liberty. We never forget that.
It's like we have family in Belgium.
Bob Pike, named for his uncle, the pilot, was one of the first to learn of the memorial. He's now been over to see it 3 times.
It's a phenomenal experience. Words can't do it any justice.
He was 26 years old.
Brian Naylor, the great-nephew of navigator Harold Lenoury, visited 2 years ago and was so touched he's making his own documentary, in part to say thank you.
They honor my uncle and his fellow crewmates so much, and it means the world to us.
When I met them, they made us feel wonderful.
For the Canadian families, it's an amazing gesture. For the one in Belgium, they say it's their privilege.
We don't forget our friends from Canada. We are Belgians, naturally, but Canada is our second nation.
Tara Nelson, Global News, Jalais, Belgium.